Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX 777. So, from studying the mystical Kabbalah and the Kabbalistic Tarot, I'm coming to see a lot of correspondences that help everything to make sense. And I want to say chapter 10 in the mystical Kabbalah, Dion Fortune mentions something very important. She mentions that tarot, Kabbalah, and astrology are not three separate mystic sciences, but they're actually three pieces of one whole thing. So, a lot of people are asking me lately, what can I do to help me retain all this information? What can I do to help me remember all these different things? There's so many different things to remember, so many different things to learn. Well, see, that's the thing with being an occult scientist. We're transitioning from using just the left brain to also being able to use the right brain, the abstract brain, to really understand what we're doing. And so, what I mean by that is, if you learn to think in symbols and learn to think with symbols, then you don't have to remember things. You can just calculate things as they appear. For example, if you understand the 12 signs of the zodiac, you can understand the 12 personality types that we encounter when it comes to people. Even before that, if you just understand the four elements, you can categorize those 12 members of the zodiac into their four elements, which are fire, water, earth, and air. And even more, there are three different categories of those elements. There's the fixed, there's the mutable, and there's the, what is it, fixed, mutable, and cardinal, yeah, or whatever. Anyways, what I'm saying is, if you understand just the basic pieces of the puzzle, then it doesn't matter how complex it gets. As long as you can figure out what piece belongs where, you can figure all the rest out, right? There's a reason why the tetragrammaton, the four-letter name of God, is four letters, because again, that corresponds with the four elements. The 12 signs of the zodiac correspond with the four elements. The 10 spheres of the Sephiroth of the Tree of Life are actually a part of a system of 32, right? And what we have here is 10 spheres and 22 paths. The 22 paths relate to the major arcana of the tarot. The 10 spheres represent all the aces through the tens of the tarot. And then, of course, the kings, the queens, the knights, and the knaves, those relate to the four elements. And they also relate to the four worlds of the Kabbalah. So anyways, what I'm going to do here today is practice my memorization of these cards and their attributes. And I think that this will be a really beneficial exercise for you to do as well, because on the mystical side, it'll help to charge up your cards and your subconscious mind through alignment. But on the logical side, this will help you to remember and put into a proper category where the tarot lines up with the Kabbalah. All right. So the tools of this exercise are extremely simple. You probably have them. You probably have them on deck. So let me flip around here. Basically, what I've got is a Sharpie, 32 index cards, and my trusty Rider-Waite deck. All right. Good morning, good morning. How are y'all doing? Zacchaeus Steed, good to see you. Goddess Neith, good to see you. She says I'm up early. Well, to be honest, I've been up since, I don't know, 9 p.m. My days are a little bit mixed. Apollo Soul, good morning. All right, so I'm just copying the link here so that I can share it on the Facebook group. But yeah, this is going to be a good exercise for you to just retain and remember this information, because like I said, it isn't about logically remembering a million bits and pieces of data. All right, that's not possible. Even though that's what society teaches us, it teaches us that we need to remember things through storing data in our heads. But physically, we're not capable of scaling that. You know what I'm saying? So the best way to operate in this immense sea of data is to use symbols as a categorization system, as a filing cabinet, right? That's what Dion Fortune calls the Kabbalah system. It's actually to be referred to or looked at as somewhat of a filing cabinet because it's a place where you can store all the different information. So yeah, you could certainly follow along if you'd like, or this could be something that you can just kind of learn and then do as you go. But it's definitely going to be a great decision for you to learn how to memorize the tarot correspondences with the Tree of Life. Okay, and of course it also lines up with the zodiac, and I'm going to demonstrate all that here in just a second. Good morning. In your face, X10, up at Unicorn. Good morning. Tony Jules, greetings. Bunny Queen, what's good? Since when in the hell am I up in the morning? Look, I'm usually up all through the night, and I sleep through the day. It's better that way. It's better for everybody. Brown Nature 9 says, is this a video about how to use the tarot? No, this is a video about how to memorize the tarot. Before we really go deep into learning how to do something, it's far better to have a foundation of understanding what all the elements are. A lot of people try to teach how to use tarot without actually understanding what tarot is. So in dealing with the occult, we understand this is a system of symbols. So what I'm going to be doing here is just a categorization of these symbols. All right. So without further ado, honestly, I was supposed to do this like 4 hours ago, but I got sidetracked by Instagram or one of those social networks. I don't know. All right. So first step is to open this Sharpie thing that I actually bought a year ago. I bought this and consecrated it because I was going to use it to design my Goetia Tarot deck. And I realized I had a lot to learn before I even attempted that. But this will do the job. All right. So I'm going to start like this. If you're able to, I'd recommend playing along. If not, then like I said, this can be something you can do a little bit later when you have time or after you eat your blueberry Pop-Tarts and coffee. All right. So this is going to represent air. This is going to represent water. This will represent fire. Okay, now remember, Dion Fortune tells us that we've got 7 planets, we've got 12 zodiac, we've got 4 elements. Now, if you include Earth, plus the 10 spheres, if you include Earth, that would make 33. But since we're on Earth and looking up from the viewpoint of Earth, we don't actually include Earth, so that makes 22. So that's why I just did fire, water, and air. And that's going to be for the 3 mother letters of the Hebrew language, they say. All right, so next we're going to work with the planets. And that's going to be Mercury. Like I said, if you have time and you have the tools, go ahead and do this as well. This is the symbol for the moon. We're going to do Venus. We also know as Netzach. And of course, we've got Sol, Tifereth. All right, so what I'm doing is basically I just drew the 3 elements. Now I'm doing the 7 planets. Mr. Mars, Gibora. We've also got Jupiter. We've got Saturn. Okay, I think that was all 7. I hope I didn't forget anybody. Let me make sure. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Now for the hard part. Let us do the zodiac. All right, we're going to start with Aries. I'm doing this live to prove that I memorized this. So this is kind of my own pop quiz in public, if you will. Taurus. Okay, so after Taurus is who's after Taurus? Gemini. Yeah, of course. How can I forget that? All right. Now this lovely season that we're currently in, Cancer season. All right. It would be a good idea to memorize the zodiac symbols as well. After Cancer comes Leo. After Leo comes Virgo. Oh shit, what's the Virgo symbol look like? Virgo. Oh yeah. No, that's Libra. They got me. What is Virgo? What does that look like? I gotta cheat. I'll come back to it. V. What? No symbol? Oh, there it is. Right. Those weird M symbols. It's Virgo. Followed by Libra. All right, then we got Scorpio. All right. And we've got, after Scorpio is Sagittarius. Then we got Capricorn. What's the Capricorn symbol? That weird one. Victoria's Secret. That's how I remember it. All right, then after Capricorn, we have the lovely and delightful kneecaps. Aquarius, of course. My favorite. Other than myself, of course. And then last but not least, our favorite psychic crybabies. I love you guys. The Pisces. Lee Marie, thank you. Thank you. I got it, though. Took me a minute. Oh, my goodness. Great goodness goddess. Thank you. Good morning. I appreciate that. Okay. So hopefully you have that part down because it's pretty easy. Just memorize the 12 zodiac signs and also the 3 elements of air, fire, and water. And then, of course, the 7 traditional planets. All right, now let's take this thing to the workshop, shall we? Do. Good morning. All right. So we're gonna do this on the floor. Great place to do it, might I add. All right. Air, water, and of course, fire. Maybe I should angle the camera a bit different. We'll see. See how this works. So we've got the 3 elements there. We've also got the 7 planets here, which will be Mercury, Moon, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Try to make all this stuff fit. All right. So this is for you, you tactile learners. If you need something physical to kind of get your hands busy to help you remember this stuff, this is perfect. I visualized it. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but this now finally gives me an excuse to do it. So here we are. And like I said, this is going to line up all the tarot cards with the 4 elements and the zodiac and the tree of life to make things easier to remember. Because look, moving forward, you're going to need to know this stuff by heart. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep looking through these books over and over and over and over and over. You know, which can be cool, but let's face it, nobody wants to spend all this money on Amazon all day, every day, buying books, and then spending the time having to read all these books. So you can get to the point where the authors are and where any true occultist is. And it's not about remembering data. It's about understanding how to look at this stuff and understand it on a higher level. What is that higher level? It's intuitively being able to read the symbols. All right. Now this is all going to be just the major arcana, right? 4, 8, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. This is just the major arcana. Now what we're actually going to do with the numbered cards are we're going to assign them to the 4 worlds of the tarot, right? So if you've been paying attention or following along or researching the Kabbalah, you understand that there's actually 4 different trees. The top tree is Atziluth, and this is the archetypal world where God interacts directly with creation. Next is Bria, and this is where the archangels do the business, right? So we go from the demiurge to the archons. Underneath that, we have Yetzirah, which is the world of the tree of life that we see on the cover here, because this is the world that directly affects the physical world, which is called Asaya. All right, Asaya is just the end result of everything that's happening. Now, Atziluth is represented by the fire cards, which are the wands. Bria is represented by the water cards, which are the cups. Yetzirah is the world of air, and that is represented by the swords. And the physical world is Asaya, and that's represented by the pentacles. So what I'm going to do is basically line up the cards here in the shape of the tree of life, and then I'm going to line up the other ones under these elements. All right, this should be pretty straightforward. But again, this is just to kind of show you as I'm doing it for the first time. But hopefully you take this instruction and do it yourself for your own learning and to help you charge your cards. Why does it help you charge your cards? Because in your subconscious mind, you're putting them into alignment with the forces that they belong to. Now, as we're learning about this Kabbalah, you can also keep in the back of your head where the cards line up, right? So you're basically conquering 3 or 4 or 5 stones at the same time. You're learning astrology, you're learning tarot, and you're learning Kabbalah all at the same time. And that's how it's supposed to be. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get started. I just got this set up and now I have to move the camera. Ain't that some shit? All right, so since this is the 3 of Swords, this is going to go in the world of Yetzirah, the air world. So I'm going to put this, it's number 3, so I'm going to put this where Binah should be. All right, I'll move the camera, but I'm just going to do that for my own. Nah, fuck it. I'll just move the camera. Maybe if I put it over here. Yeah, that's a little better. I hope it doesn't fall. Okay, let's get going. All right, so 3 of swords go here. I'll just put it there. All right, so we got the 2 of pentacles. This will represent Chakma in the world of Asaya. All right, so it's going to go over here. If you can see that. About here is where it should be. Right there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. All right, so we've got the 6 of swords. That's going to be Tifereth. Tifereth, which is over here. No, that's swords. That's going to be over here. Okay. This is going to be 2 of wands. So I'm going to go over here. The world of Absolute. And then, of course, cups. This is the 7 of cups. It's going to be over here somewhere. How about this? I'm just going to put them all together and organize them later. All right, so we got the first one, Judgment. Judgment has to do with Libra, if I'm not mistaken. Scales. If I'm incorrect, I will come back and change that. But that's where Judgment goes. The Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. It's going to go over here on the air tree. Knight of Cups. It's going to go on the water tree. The Lovers, that's Gemini. That is going with Gemini, of course. The Queen of Pentacles, she belongs over here with the Asaya world, the Earth world, the Kuth world. The King of Cups, that belongs in Bria. The 5 of Wands, that is Ibera of Asaya. And of course, we know 5, dealing with Mars, deals with separation. So that's that. The moon lines up with Pisces. It's over here. The Ace of Cups, that goes in Bria, which deals with water. And that also lines up with Kether, right? The 5 of Swords is going to go in Yetzirah. So 6, 5. The 3 of Wands here. I wonder if you guys are able to see that, or is it too far off? Looks like it's too far off. Boom. How about that? Just about, just about. Yeah, I'm going to organize this as I go. I'm just going to put them together. All right, so Devil, everyone's favorite card, that goes to Scorpio. There you are. All right, what else we got? Hell yeah, Tree Marie. I should say thank you, because it's your post on the website that really inspired me to actually do this. So, yes, that's freaking awesome. Thank you for sharing that page. That really opened up a lot for me. So, thank you most definitely. The Page of Cups, that belongs over here in the world of Bria, which deals with water. King of Swords, that deals with Yetzirah, which is air. Wands. going on?
We can build it Friday.
Star deals with Aquarius. Six of Wands, that's going to go to Absolute. Knight of Pentacles, that goes to Messiah. Tower, that goes with, oh, which sign is that? Help me out here, Tree Marie. I'm pretty sure that's Capricorn. Pretty sure that's Capricorn. Okay, all right. Two of Swords, that's air, so that's going to line up in the world of Yetzirah, where Chakma would be. Hierophant deals with Taurus. Taurus. You know what? Actually, Death goes with Scorpio, not the devil. I'm gonna have to wait on this one. If you still got that book open, Tree Marie, feel free to help me out with that, with the devil and the tower. Those seem to have slipped my mind so far. Of course, you know the Two of Cups belongs to Rhea. That's the Three of Cups, excuse me. The Hanged Man deals with the water element specifically. That's going to go here. Two of Cups also goes to the Lord of Rhea. Kether's going to line up with the Aces, of course. And the Kings and the Knights are going to line up with the right pillar, the male pillar. The Queens and the Princesses are going to line up with the left pillar, the Severity pillar. All right, so like I said here, the Queen of Swords, that's going to be the feminine pillar of the world of Yetzirah. Four of Wands. The Emperor deals with Aries. That one's easy to remember because if you look at his throne, he's got two rams there. Rams up here. So that lets you know right off the bat he's representative of Aries. Justice. Justice is... goodness gracious. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you. Tower is Mars. Tower is Mars. You should know that. Tower is with Mars. The devil goes with Capricorn. Thank you, Framestar.
You know what to do?
I'll be right there.
Justice is Libra. Right, because of the scale. Excuse me. So there we go. That goes there. Wheel of Fortune. I know that's Jupiter.
It's gonna start.
The Sun obviously goes to the Sun.
It's gonna start over.
2, 4, 5 of Pentacles. This belongs to Gibra of Messiah. Okay. The Six of Cups, that's going to go to Bria
I'll just come back later.
in the space of Tifereth.
All the princesses of Etheria.
And a giant party! Dancing, food, fancy dresses! Dancing? It only happens once a decade. I've been waiting years for this! But you know, I'm only a princess sometimes, so are you sure I should even go? Of course! Every princess is invited. That includes you.
Oh yeah, it's all in the invite.
Okay, rules for greeting the hostess. Expect pretty proper stair descending etiquette.
The ball has been going on for centuries. There's a lot of really old etiquette stuff you gotta do before you can party.
But it's gonna be so fun! And Princess Frosta is hosting this year in the Kingdom of Snow. Her magic is incredibly powerful. She'd be a huge get for the rebellion. Don't worry, I'll be right there with you. And so will Belle, since he's going as my +1.
Actually,
Together, the three of us can handle.
All right, so essentially we remember this from the book, of course. All the swords are the suit of air, so that's going to go to the world of Yetzirah. All the pinnacles are earth, so that's going to go to Asaya. All the fire is wands, that's going to go to Atziluth, and all the water belongs to Bria. So the numbers, the ace being ones, going all the way down to 10, lines up with the spheres. So we know that 10 is Malkuth, 9 is Yesod. That's essentially what I'm doing on this part here.
You can't see
I'm
it.
sick of this. Shadow Weaver failed to get a door.
Great Goodness Goddess says, I can easily remember the devil as Capricorn because all Capricorns have a deranged side. Goodness gracious.
Time for someone new to take over. Me. So, you in? I'm hanging out in your room.
Somebody find out which one is Judgment for
You're
me.
the only one I can trust around here. Because we're best friends.
Alright,
Stop
so
being so
9
new and help me
swords.
think. I have the beginning of a plan, but it's not enough. I need to capture Adora so Shadow Weaver doesn't demote me. I need to impress Hordak so they'll make me the new Shadow Weaver. How do I do both? Why don't you try something at the old Princess Ball? Every princess is going to be there, so Adora probably will be too.
Nine of Pentacles,
Ooh, this year's theme is Winter Wonderland.
Knight of Wands.
How did you get your claws on this? They sent it to me. I'm a princess. You're a princess? Yeah, you know.
Ace
The
of
Horde crash
Swords.
landed in my family's kingdom. We let them stay. My family gave Hordak our runestone, the Black Garment. You're
Eight of
a
Wands.
princess? Oh man, I thought everyone knew. I mean, it's covered in Force Captain orientation. I'm beginning to think I shouldn't have skipped that. Okay, you're a princess and you're going to a princess ball. Oh no, I'm not going. No, no one like my family, even before we
Ten
joined the
of
Horde.
Pentacles, it's going to be Malkuth
I never
of
really
the physical plane,
Fit with the other
which is
princesses.
also known as
Made them uncomfortable and
Asaya.
that. They don't like me.
Here.
And that's exactly why you have to go. How dare those princesses pretend they're better than you? Just because you're different? How dare they abandon people? Just because they don't fit in with their perfect little lives? Yeah. How dare they take best friends and turn them into giant sword ladies who run off with people clearly inferior to you? You're telling my whole life with your words. Well, it's time to show those princesses a thing or two. You're going, I'm coming as your +1, and we are going to make this a night no one will ever forget. Super Pal Duo is going to prom.
These guys.
she asked and I said yes. I didn't think it would be a big deal.
It's not. It's fine. I'm just surprised. I mean, when did you two even talk about it?
Oh,
That
she
about
was
lines up.
super slick.
Cool.
Want to go to the ball with me?
Okay.
That's super slick.
I thought it'd be fun, and perfume was cool.
Yeah, she's fine. We always go to events together. We have a whole routine. We wear matching outfits, we share inside jokes, and then we eat ice cream afterwards. It's our thing.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the new thing. Look, I gotta get ready. We'll hang out with you guys there.
2, 3,
But I liked her old thing. Clever! Good. No time to waste. I've been studying the invite. I think advanced prep will be key to success. So I've divided the rules into base parts. Dance rules, etiquette rules, rules for greeting the hostess.
Yeah, that looks good.
I then broke down the ballroom into quadrants and I'm familiarizing myself with targets. Ask me anything. Princess Frosta. ruler of
Okay,
the Kingdom of
Judgment
Snows.
is
It's your
fire.
first time
Thank
hosting
you
the
very
ball.
much.
Has the biggest
Creamery,
kingdom
thank you.
outside of Bright Moon, neutral in the fight against the Horde. Allies with the Star Sisters, who are friends with Mermista, but not Sweet Bee, who is dating Peekaboo, as you can tell from the
That's
string.
good, Straight
Up
Panther.
means friends, down means frenemies.
All right, so we got the Four of Cups. You know where that goes.
I'm feeling good. I'm prepared for any and all possible scenarios, and I am so ready for this ball. Great. What are you wearing? I was just gonna go as She-Ra. Maybe she has better hair. Well, you can't go as She-Ra. They have a strict no weapons rule. Neutral ground and all. So you'll have to leave your sword at the door. Ugh. How are there still
Magician
more parts to
goes
this
with
invite?
Mercury.
You know
Excuse
what
me,
this
goes with
means? That
air.
clothes aren't important and I should just keep
Nope, goes
studying.
with Mercury. That's right.
Makeover time!
Ten of Wands is the Malkuth of the Absolute tree. Six of Pentacles, that represents the Tiferet of Asaya. The Hermit goes with Virgo, because Virgo also relates to the intestines, and that's where food goes in secret to be fully digested. And of course, if you didn't already, the zodiac signs line up with the body, with Aries being the head, Taurus being the neck, Gemini being the arms, Cancer being the breast, Leo being the heart. Yeah, etc., etc. Virgo being the intestines, Scorpio being the sex organs, Capricorn being the legs, the kneecaps, Sagittarius being the legs, Aquarius is the calves, and then Pisces, of course, is the feet. And that also relates to the descent of force into form, just like the Tree of Life. So the Six of Swords deals with the Tiferet of Yetzirah. Excuse me, that's the Four of Swords, my bad.
Really big. Which is why we need Frosta. If she joins us, all the other princesses are sure to follow.
Alright, so
Here we go.
Eight of Cups, it's over here.
Hold for 1, 2.
Strength, obviously, we know where that goes, because there's a big ass lion on the card.
She's like 10. I'm 11 3/4. Revered hostess, we come into your hall under the ancient rules of hospitality, bringing greetings from Bright Moon. And She-Ra, the legendary warrior. You're welcome in the Kingdom of Snows under the ancient rules of hospitality. Leave conflict at the door. And please enjoy the ball. Thank you.
Ace of Wands, of course, that goes to the Kether of Absolute.
You did all that research. I assumed you knew. You know what? It's fine.
The High Priestess
Still to
represents the moon.
Now come on, let's rock this ball.
Seven of Pentacles deals with the Netsack of
Oh, there's a trapdoor.
Asaya.
Adora! Glimmer! Are you here to watch the social experiment too? Social experiment. Different groups are thrown together and forced to mingle.
Eight of Swords, you know where that goes.
Is the perfect place to observe
That's the
behavior.
pod of
I may have tiny food.
Yetzirah.
Where's Bo? I want to show him my new recorder.
Three of Pentacles, that's the Bina of the material plane, also known as
Why
Asaya.
would you think we're not? There he is! Wow! They're matching. That's our best friend thing. Your feelings seem to be getting hurt.
Hey, I'm here
Alright.
too. Don't make a big thing out of
Temperance.
it.
They're making up their own inside jokes? What? Is Perfuma his new best friend now?
Not gonna get into whatever's happening there.
Just walking around in circles.
Or that. Look, have you seen...
She's a beauty, can't you see? She's attending this with
I'll remember
me.
in a second.
She's my princess
Ten of
of
Cups,
the sea.
Malkuth of Bria.
It's my crew.
So, Seahawks are +1.
Ten of Swords,
He is
it's
just my
Malkuth of
ride,
Yetzirah.
okay? Just my
Queen of Wands,
Of course.
that belongs in that salute.
This is the best social experiment I've ever been to.
Whatever. Do they have a help?
Seven of Swords.
To the buffet! And Villa
That's going in Yetzirah.
Hey!
That's so funny, Adora. What a funny inside joke.
Four of Pentacles, that relates to Chesed.
Glimmer, it's great to see you.
Yuma was just telling
The
me
Fool
about a winged
deals
horse
with the
that
air
ate all the
element.
apples in Plumeria and then flew
It's the
away.
Fool that gives
Sound
the
familiar?
element space to interact.
Isn't this fun? Adora and I are having such a great time here together. Just the two of us.
Page of
Right,
Pentacles, that's going on the feminine pillar of the Earth Tree.
We're going to say hi to people. You want to come?
No.
Queen of
you
Cups,
guys
that
go
goes
on.
at the top
Find you later.
of the
I
feminine
wanna hear
pillar
the rest
of
this
Bria.
hilarious story that Adora was just telling.
The Empress relates to Venus
Perfect.
directly.
Ross is alone. I'm gonna try
As
to
you can
smooth
see,
things over with her.
it even has the symbol right there on the rock.
Okay, never mind. I'll just be right back. Revered hostess.
Alright,
I
Nine of
have to
Cups.
apologize for earlier. I was so rude.
That deals with the Assad.
Yes, you
and
were.
Bria.
But as you're only an honorary princess, you can't be expected to know better.
The World deals with Saturn.
Your kingdom is
specifically.
truly beautiful, Princess Frosta. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
And
now
the
I expect
Chariot
you will
deals
ask
with
me to join
Cancer.
your rebellion.
You
On
know
the
about that?
human body, Cancer
Of
deals with
course
the
I do.
breast, which is why we've got these two here.
The snow peas and the cookies are touching.
Do
Alright,
it
so that
right.
means Temperance goes to Virgo.
Princess Frosta, the rebellion needs you. Your kingdom is the largest and most powerful. Your alliance could be the key to defeating the Horde.
Temperance
Lord hasn't
Sagittarius,
threatened
she
us.
says.
Only because the Kingdom of Snows is so out of the way, it doesn't
Okay.
matter to Hordek right now. Joining
that
the
would
rebellion
mean-
is obviously your best bet.
The Kingdom of Snows has defended itself perfectly well for
Yeah,
thousands
the Devil's
of
Capricorn,
years.
right.
We do not need your help or your rebellion. Please continue to enjoy the ball.
Alright, Tree Marie, take a look at that. Let me know if I got any of these wrong. So I'm trying to do this from memory here.
Where have you been?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna organize the tree elements here, and then I'll take the camera down.
Are you okay? Why does it bother you so much?
It doesn't. Bo can hang out with whoever he wants. I never had that many friends, okay? It's always just been me and Bo. But now, what if he likes his new friends better than me? What if everyone does?
That's not gonna happen, Glimmer. Trust me, Bo isn't the type to just leave all of his old friends behind, and neither am I. Revered hostess, you can't let them in. They're from the Horde. Revered hostess, Princess Scorpia was invited as per the rules of this ball. Rules which I personally have the utmost respect for.
Do not! Princess Adora, the rules state clearly that all princesses and their chosen guests are welcome.
But they're up to something. I can feel it. You have
That's enough! You look at me and see a child. But I have worked too hard to gain respect, only to throw it away because you feel they're up to something. For centuries, the All Princess Ball has been neutral ground. I will not dishonor that legacy. Scorpia is a princess. Princesses get +1s. They stay. Teenagers.
Really, Adora? I'm shocked. We're not breaking any rules. Didn't you read the invite? I know you're plotting something. From now to the second the ball ends, I'll be watching. Wherever the two of you go, I go. Suit yourself. Have fun with following us. Glimmer, you get Scorpia, I'll take Kendra.
Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter. Sun, Saturn. Okay, alright. Looks good so far.
Wow, that is good. What is? I don't even know what's in this. What, sir? Gerson, what's in this?
Oh,
I'm allowed to hang out with other people.
But don't you see?
Okay,
It starts.
so
Suddenly everyone has new friends and nobody needs me anymore, and then
just to kind of take a look at what we have here, because this is how these cards can be used as a meditative tool, right? As opposed to just trying to blindly tell somebody's fortune. So as we said, the tree pattern is actually a symbol of the different energies that are eternally present that create the physical world that we're in. So what these cards actually allow for is a way for us to use these symbols to focus on these specific energies. So, for example, the Fool directly lines up with air. The Fool card, if you meditate on it, really connects you with the force behind the symbol that we call air. The Hanged Man deals with the water element, which we learned from Franz Barton, has a lot to do with constriction and enclosing and gravity, that type of thing. Quite the opposite is fire, which is symbolized by judgment. Now in this row, we've got the 7 planets, right? So Mercury, of course, the transformation energy, deals with the magician. The Moon of secrets deals with the high priestess. Venus, the fertility of nature, deals with the empress. The Sun card is quite obvious, deals with the sun. The Tower, oh, and Tree Marie, the image was completely correct from that book, but there was a typo whenever he has the sun and Saturn, because there's no card for Saturn. But later on, he has Saturn as the world. But it's easy to put 2 and 2 together because that was the only card left out. But the sun deals with the sun. The Tower deals with Mars because that is the active force, right, of destruction and breaking things down. Wheel of Fortune deals with Jupiter, which we know as an expansive element in astrology. We've got the World, which deals with Saturn. Pretty cool. And the World card kind of encompasses the finished work of everything, kind of like how Binah is the giver of form, as Dion Fortune tells us. Binah is what creates the world of form. So that's kind of what we've got going on there. Now, of course, for the signs, we've got Aries as the Emperor, we've got Taurus as the Hierophant, we've got Gemini as the Lovers. I mean, that's pretty... All these are pretty spot on because, like I said, it's not that you're learning data in words. You're looking into the symbolism to help you remember this. So obviously you've got two. And this isn't necessarily, you're going to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. This deals with the communion of the 2 aspects of self, the duality of self, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the ego and the higher self, right? All these dualities being reconciled and married by the eternal. In other words, this is Kether, and these are the 2 pillars of the tree of life. Again, you can easily tell that Aries goes to the Emperor because, like I said, the Rams. Hierophant. Leo, again, that one's pretty obvious because you've got the lion here. The Chariot represents Cancer. Virgo is represented by the Hermit. And a good way to remember that is Virgo on the body correlates with the intestines. And like I said, that's where the food goes in secret to be digested and transformed. Just like the Hermit goes in secret to be transformed, right? Justice, the Scales, Libra. Again, that's pretty obvious, right? Death, Scorpio, transformative element. I think Scorpio has a stereotype that people can easily equate to the card that it relates to. Know what I mean? Temperance, Sagittarius. The Devil, Capricorn. Yeah. I gotta find a way to remember this. I'll get it by the end of the day, of course. Aquarius deals with the star, those wonderful daydreamers. And then, of course, Pisces deals with the moon. I think of the wolves and the dogs howling and crying to the moon. And like I said, the few Pisces I know were a bit emotional, so, water sign. Good morning, Hecate Goddess. Good morning, Isaac. Hecate Goddess, this is, I mean, it's coming from a lot of different books. Hell, it's coming from an image that I saw that Tree Marie posted, but this is basic Kabbalah info. You can find it in any book that's serious about this Kabbalah and tarot. Charlotte Swan, good morning. Okay, so yeah. Like I said, this is an easy way to help you connect and correspond these cards with the elements, right? And essentially what I did in the beginning of the video was I just drew these signs, and I laid them all out to associate the cards with them. Now, the reason that we've only got fire, water, and air is because, just like Dion Fortune said in Mystical Kabbalah, we're in the perspective of Earth. Therefore, we don't need to represent it externally because we represent it internally. All right. So altogether, these make up the 22 major arcana. They also represent the 22 paths. I'll get into that more on another video. But like I told the young man in the beginning of this one, before we can worry about really using these effectively, it'll be far better to understand what you're using. You know what I'm saying? So instead of surfing the internet for random people's definitions on the cards, it's good to look at where this system actually came from, right? This comes out of Kabbalah. So to understand the Kabbalistic meaning behind these cards, you'll have a much better time actually working with them. So again, what we learned from Dion Fortune is that there's actually 4 worlds of the 10 spheres, and that's where all the rest of the cards fall into place.
For the power of grace.
All right. So essentially, like I said before, you want to memorize this pattern, because understanding this pattern will help you put the pieces into their proper place. All right. So 3, 6, 9, 12. We've got 14 cards because of the 4 royalty cards, right? But essentially the kings and the knights represent the masculine pillar. The queens and the pages represent the feminine pillar, right? So it's a polarity, a higher polarity of the feminine energy, the lower polarity of the feminine energy, higher polarity of the masculine, lower polarity of the masculine, right? So what we have here in the top tree, which is known as Absoluth, we've got all the wand cards. Where's that other one at? There we go. This one here. Okay, yeah, and this is where the paths line up. I might do that at the end of this video. But that's not the image I was looking for. The image I was looking for is this one here. All right. So like I said, the aces, 2s, 3s, 4s, that's pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, it's going to help you to understand the symbology of these shapes because they're a categorization system. If you know the shape of the categorization system, you can put all the pieces in their proper place. All right. So yeah, here we go. These are the 4 worlds. All right. The top world is Absoluth, and this is represented as the fire element. The next one down is Bria. This is represented as the water element. The next one is Yetzirah, which is the air element, and then Asaya, which is the earth element, which is the physical plane. So that's how these are supposed to be stacked up, but I've got them side by side due to space constraints. So just a quick look. We would have the Kether of Absoluth, the Chakma of Absoluth, the Binah, the Chesed, the Geburah, the Tifereth, the Netzach, the Had, the Yesod, and the Malkuth. And like I said, the higher polarity of the masculine pillar, the lower polarity of the masculine pillar, the higher polarity of the feminine, the lower polarity of the feminine. But you put all those together and they make the first tree. Now the very next stack of energy down would be the same thing, just in the water element. So again, Kether, Chakma, Binah, Chesed, Geburah, Tifereth, Netzach, Had, Yesod, Malkuth. All right. Same thing moving here with the air element. Kether, Chesed, Kether, Chakma, Bina, Chesed, Gibura, Tifereth, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malkuth. And then finally, the earth element, of course, Kether, Chakma, Bina, Chesed, Gibura, Tifereth, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malkuth. And then, of course, the higher polarity of the positive, lower polarity of the positive, higher polarity of the negative, lower polarity of the negative. Now, what I mean by using these as a meditative tool is you can examine the relationships between these cards and the sphere that they're attributed to, right? We know that Kether is where the energy actually originates and starts to manifest into the physical plane. This is where it actually begins, initiates. This is why all the ace cards are known as the initiators, right? Then it begins to split out, create a space, and it begins to take form. It begins to expand, it begins to contract, right? It begins to support itself. We've got the art aspect, we've got the movement aspect, we've got the astral aspect, and then we've got the physical plane aspect. So these really do begin to tell a story. From here, the energy moves to here, and it trickles down, 777 pattern. Then it moves to here, follows through, and then it moves to here and follows through. All right. So this can be put on replay because it's video. So at this point, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to stack those up into one tree, and then I'm going to assign these to the paths, and then I'll wrap this up.
I feel like perfume should be the perfume bottle. That makes the most logical sense. Maybe I could be a flower.
Could I be this miniature painted model of Bo?
No! Those represent Bow and Glimmer, and this one's mine. Go make them for us. Okay, just everyone focus. Our entry point will be here, near the Horde scrapyard. It's close to the prison and lightly guarded. Perfume and
Okay.
Chapter will access the security tower and wait for my signal to disable the lights. Mermista will access the Fright Zone sewer system. She'll swim through the pipes into the building and open the door.
I'm sorry. Mermista will what?
Move that here.
Okay, I know it sounds bad, but you're the only one who can breathe underwater.
Like I said, it would be a good idea for you to do this yourself, just to kind of get a feel for where all these things line up.
Neutralize any guards on patrol, and Trapped and Perfuma will regroup on our position, and the team will enter when Mermista opens the door.
Excellent plan.
Whoa. All right. That one here. Okay. So,
Mermista should be in place by now.
pentacles, swords, cups, wands. So keep in mind also, all four of the trees have a different color scale, depending on what world that it's in. The color scale that we typically use takes place in the world of Yetzirah. So I'm going to stack these all up together in Yetzirah. With the pentacles on the bottom, the swords next, the cups on top of that, and then of course the wands on top of those.
Go on 3. Ready? 1. I said on 3.
I got excited. Where's Mermista?
She must have gotten held up. Come on, we need to secure the guards.
And trapped up.
7, 9.
The subject appears to be harvesting scrap components, possibly for reuse. Fascinating. Trapta, we're supposed to meet the others. I know. I was waiting for you. Oh, very good, Sarah. Let's go.
the things.
Inspector. Inspector! Oh, of course! I must have forgotten you were coming. We're long overdue for an inspection, I do have to admit it, but I can assure you, we are up to code.
How did this happen?
Okay.
We had a plan.
Actually, you kind of lost me at that perfume bottle.
Where have you two been? I tried to get here sooner, but harmonious teamwork with Entrapta can be a challenge.
10.
This isn't a game. It's the Horde. Glimmer and Bo are being held captive in this building, and now Seahawk is gone. Okay, all right. Everyone calm down. Maybe we could try a simple breathing exercise. Deep calming breaths. Come on, we're going in.
All right. So this is the final piece of the puzzle here. I'm going to line up the paths here with the 10 Sephiroth.
Sewer happened to me. We can't waste any more time. Bo and Glimmer need us.
Can I get a thank you?
Thank you. We need to get to an information port. I'll hack into the database and identify the cell block Glimmer
Okay,
and Bo are
that looks good.
Hey, where's the geeky princess?
Okay, she is really putting a creep in my heart. Don't worry. We'll find Entrapta and Seahawk, and we'll rescue Glimmer and Bo.
I don't know.
Yes, indeed, entirely up to code. You passed with flying colors.
Are we
Now,
back?
Unless you have something else for me to inspect, I should get back home.
I think we're back.
Children.
You know, you look familiar.
Perhaps you've seen me in your dreams.
No, that's not it. Princess Prom. That's where I know you from. I knew it would come to me. You were there with that mermaid.
She has a name,
Okay,
you
cool,
know,
cool,
I
cool.
mean, no, that wasn't me.
All right, so yeah, just gonna do the last part here
Now,
and line up
as
the
a
paths with the
scrupulous
tree.
Inspector threats normally wouldn't work
So-
on me, but in this case, perhaps we can reach a compromise. Duck.
Ooh, where?
Oh, duck.
Okay, here we go.
Top-notch
So,
To be honest,
the
I
Fool
wasn't
lines
sure
up with the
which one
path
of
from
you guys
Kefir to
gonna
Chakma.
Okay,
The
I found both
Magician
cells,
lines
but
up with the path from
I can't
Chakma
find
to
Glimmer
Bina.
in here
The Empress
anywhere.
lines up with the
Must have
path
pulled
between
it somewhere
Chakma
else.
and Bina.
This isn't good.
All
What
right.
should we do?
I am not going back in the sewer.
It's okay. This is my new friend.
All right. So next will be the Lovers and the Emperor.
Where have you been? Where have you been?
It doesn't matter. We're all together. Let's finish this.
Lovers go here.
Bo's cell is in section B, level 20. We'll get him out first and then figure out where
Emperor
Glimmer
goes
is.
here.
Entrapta, can you get us up there?
Yes, I can. I mean, maybe. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna try. This is gonna be
Strength
fun.
actually goes across
Seahawk,
from
Perfuma, you're with me.
Gibarat,
Stay
which
here
is
and
said.
keep an eye on this one, in case she tries to prime any more robots.
On to the rescue!
Hermit.
Oh,
Where you at, Hermit?
I'm supposed to be in the barracks. Why you make me cover her train duty? What's going on? I found out where your friend is being kept. Shadow Weaver has her in the Black Garnet Chamber.
Hermit here.
Oh, that sounds bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But she's alive at least.
Justice.
Shadow Weaver is planning to ransom her in
Jetty
exchange for
here.
the Queen. Why are you telling me all this? I don't know. I guess because you're the first person who's ever listened to me. I mean, I'm being held prisoner, so I don't know that I have a choice, but sure.
Devil is here. Death is here.
Whoops, that's not right.
Sun goes here. Star here. And that. Temperance from Tifereth to Yasad. High Priestess from Kether to Tiferet. Towers across here. Judgment is from here to here. Moon is from here to here. Chariot connects these two.
Oh, wait, now
Ask for my help. People here don't think I can do anything.
Hierophant connects these two.
That seems tough. Why am I telling you this?
The wheel connects these
I'm
two.
gonna get in so much trouble if I get caught. No, wait. I mean, we're just talking. How much trouble could you get
Hangman
for
connects
talking?
those.
You'd be surprised. I get in trouble for everything around here.
And of course, the world
That doesn't
connects
seem fair. I
Magus
know.
to yourself.
Then I thought how brave you are for wanting to save your friend. Maybe if I help you.
So there we have the tarot cards lined up perfectly with the Tree of Life.
Sure, definitely. We can be friends.
Are you guys still buffering, or can you see?
Adora!
Oh, where's Glimmer?
Shadow Weaver has her in the Black Garnet chamber. Adora, what are we gonna do?
All good. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, this is essentially it. Like I said, I'd highly recommend you could get yourself some index cards. You know what I'm saying? Do it out the same way I did it, and try your best to go for memory, and then check on it, and then try your best to memorize these, because moving forward, we're going to be referring a lot to these symbols and the relationships between these symbols. So it's going to work out in your favor to really understand what each one of these mean. All right?
Adora, what are you doing?
Don't worry about me.
So it has a lot less to do with mystery and guessing, and more to do with knowing what you're actually working with. All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this specifically?
I surrender. Take me to see Chef.
And again, Tree Marie, thank you. You're the one that gave me this idea with that picture. As soon as I saw it, I knew that I was going to do this.
I'm here. Don't worry. Everything will be okay. I'll save you. What have you done to her?
Reporter for Captain Barrington, pack your things.
But yeah, like I also said, it's best to memorize these, put them to memory as best as you can, and to understand also that the way that the wheel of the zodiac is lined up, it's also lined up with the human body, like I said. So Aries would correspond with the head, right? Taurus would be the neck. Gemini would be the arms. Cancer is going to be the breast. Leo is the heart. That's why they say heart of a lion. After Leo, we've got water. Earth sign, I'm pretty sure. I think it's Virgo. Yeah. Virgo represents the guts, the intestines. Scorpio deals with the sex organs. Libra deals with the kidneys. So that's fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. And then of course, Sagittarius deals with the legs. Capricorn deals with the kneecaps. Aquarius is going to deal with the calves. And then Pisces deals with the feet. So here we have a picture of the whole man, right? And also know that this goes in a pattern. Like I said, it goes from fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water. Fire, earth, air, water, right? So just recognize these patterns. That's going to make it so much easier to actually remember this stuff. You're not remembering data and words, right? Like science or history. You're learning to organize information through remembering the symbols. So if you can just attribute to where each symbol goes, it'll help you remember a lot easier because you're remembering by association. And that's a stronger memory connection in the brain than trying to remember verbatim word for word. That's actually empty and dry. Because when you remember symbolically, you can apply the pattern to anything. It's translatable knowledge versus cold and dead knowledge. So yeah, I'll make another video going more into different correspondences, but this right here is really the basics to get deeper with this right here. Get deeper with that right there. It's a categorization system. All right, so yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Like I said, does anybody have any questions or comments about this? Any observations?
This is not because I like you. Kendra, just get out
Yeah,
of here.
Brown Nature. Definitely, if you don't have it already, I'd recommend jumping on it. And I would recommend getting this deck here. There's a lot of fancy ones out there, but this one specifically lines up with the true correspondence of Hermetics and Kabbalah, which is where all this originated from. So instead of getting the ones with the pretty pictures, get the one that actually makes sense so that you can learn it. Then you can go to the ones with the pretty pictures. All right. I mean, you can easily find this on Amazon at varying prices because there's so many Chinese knockoffs. It's not about the material, it's about what you do with it.
Wait, where's Entracta?
So yeah, I think that was pretty self-explanatory. As always, thank you guys for joining me on these videos here.
She's gone.
All right.
Well, then we have to go back for her.
No, she's.
So I'm gonna wrap it up so I can get to some more studying. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Love you guys. Peace.